After the Minnesota Vikings released 10-year veteran Adam JEROME Ezekiel Thielen earlier in the month, the pride of Detroit Lakes, Mankato State University Community College. I love when people don't get the bid. But him looking for a new home, him looking for a better opportunity, better than 107 targets, but whatever, as well as a little bit of cash. So we're keeping our eyes peeled for when and where he was going to land. Now, there have been some rumors with him and KC. Him and Mahomes have a lot in common, as well as Carolina came in for a visit, and he said heads Carolina, tails California. Apparently came in heads. There you go. Carolina Panthers announced that they have agreed to terms with Adam Thielen. Following the well-worn path of Vikings to Carolina, Jarius Wright did it, as well as Brandon Zylstra, Concordia, Cobbers. He did it as well. Plus, I love that McAfee got the scoop. Like, he beat Rap Sheet, he beat Pelissero, he beat the local beat writers. It's awesome, man. Although, it's interesting that it says a 3-year deal. Can't wait to see the terms. Is it along the lines of Jacoby Myers and Alan Lazard and Juju, where 3 years, $33 million, $11 million per? Is it less? What's the guarantee? We'll get all those details shortly. But it's fun to see McAfee getting the scoops. I love it, man. And Thielen also announced it on the gram, putting out a story with him and his kids, singing "Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum," going to the Panthers. And the Panthers, of course, traded all the way up with the Bears to get the number 1 overall pick. So Thielen will be catching balls from a rookie quarterback. Is it Bryce Young? Is it C.J. Stroud? Is it Anthony Richardson? Is it Will Levis? T, B, D in that regard. And with Thielen, this is a good spot for him, because if you look at that wide receiver room, so the Panthers gave up a gang of picks to go up to 1. So them drafting a receiver, they're not going to have a guy who's going to be an alpha. And also, given this wide receiver class, probably not anyway. But Terrace Marshall Jr., solid, former teammate with Justin frickin' Jefferson on the 2019 LSU Tigers. It really was a 3 deep, because it was Marshall, and of course it was Chase and Jefferson. Laviska Shenault, I liked a lot coming out of Colorado. Didn't work out with the Jaguars. Carolina, they're trying to get something going with him. Preston Williams, former teammates with BC Johnson at Colorado State, and him and Michael Gallup trying to get something going. Shi Smith, the pride of South Carolina, whatever. But Adam Thielen clearly is wide receiver 1 on this team, and they do have something going. So I do like their bookend tackles, Sticky Icky Ekwonu, as well as Taylor Moton. Row the boat. Original row the boat. Bradley Bozeman's bad. Austin Corbett, Brady Christensen are solid. Christensen more of a tackle, but whatever. And Hayden Hurst, they just inked up. And Andy Dalton, they signed as a decent veteran backup, and they're going to have a quarterback of the future. Miles Sanders came in. Chuba Hubbard's a decent backup. So offensively for Frank Reich in year 1, it's going to be pretty good. But like I said, it's a great opportunity for Thielen. And here in Minnesota, maybe he wouldn't even been guaranteed wide receiver 2. Role. Maybe KJ was rising up. Maybe rookie TBD was going to be there. Who really knows? But hopefully he got the bag, and he's certainly getting an opportunity. And he better get more than 107 targets in this wide receiver room. That's all I'm saying, man. But Thielen, tough to say goodbye, but it was a business decision, and certainly understand that. But he'll always be in Minnesota Vikings folklore, growing up cheering for Moss and Carter, and then eventually finding himself among them in the pantheon of Vikings great wide receivers, and him rising up as a UDFA tryout up from the practice squad, and then eventually becoming a 2-time Pro Bowler and an absolute stud. And I think that he still has something left. Like, is he going to be back to being a 1,000-yard receiver and 100 catches a year? Probably not. But could he be a nice underneath security blanket for a young quarterback, as well as an asset in the red zone? Yes, I think absolutely he could do that. So wishing him luck in Carolina, except for when the Vikings play at Carolina this year. Intrigue as part of the 2023 schedule. Bring that on, man. Bring that on. And I can see it now. Thielen's going to catch like a 4-yard slant on a corner, and he's going to spin the ball or spike it and be like, "You could never check me in practice." And the Byron Murphy would be like, "Bro, we were never teammates." Or something like that. But wishing AT luck in Carolina, except for the week that they play the Vikings, of course. But your thoughts are thoughts. Thielen signs with the Carolina Panthers, 3-year deal. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.